Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and it's going to be a banger. We're going to do a follow-on video to the video I popped out yesterday with Tolf. And Tolf kicking the Phantom Grove's butt. So, pretty interesting video, actually, and it got a lot of commentary. I will say the commentary was a little bit unfair in places. Like, people basically saying, HH, you told me he was terrible. I fed him, and now you're telling me he's good. Just in my defense on this one, it's quite hard to know that he can do something which is not written in his kits. Give me some sort of like solid on that one. It's impossible for me to know that there's something going on that's not written in his kits. But what we do know is that there's another champion that has the same thing written in their kit. So this is something we already knew about. Gnarlhorn cannot do a strong, a crit, or a weak hit. The important part here is not being able to do a weak hit, right, for the Phantom Grove, because every time you weak hit, you increase the Phantom Grove's boss's stacks, yeah? The Samurai starts coming at you. The more stacks he's got, pretty much anything over 10, you're in a lot of trouble. Okay, so Gnarlhorn is an interesting case, and a lot of people are saying, can we do it with Gnarlhorn or not? Well, I don't have a 5-star blessing on Gnarlhorn, but I do have a 4. So I guess we'll try it because it's much cheaper. Like if you actually find the blessings for a rare in the shop, I mean, here's an example of one going from 2 to 3, but it's way cheaper. Yeah, does it actually tell us here what that would be for like a 3 to 4 and a 4 to 5? I'm not sure. Don't know if it's actually got the values in here anywhere. I'm sure it's somewhere on hellhades.com. Anyway, but is it in here anywhere? Let me go. Let me go. No, I don't think so. But anyway, it's tons cheaper, obviously, to upgrade rares than it is to upgrade epics or legendaries. So it might be that this is something which helps you, but I don't know. Anyway, we're going to try it. There's a couple of things to call out here. Gnarlhorn versus Tolf has got a much lower base HP, which means that even though I've thrown him in the same gear that Tolf was wearing yesterday, apart from the accessories, but they're pretty much the same accessories, his HP is a lot lower. You know, having an extra, what's Tolf got? Tolf's got like an extra 4k health, and he's also got quite a bit of extra defense as well. Yes, you're talking about nearly 5k health more base and a good chunk of extra defense, which means everything that I'm putting on Gnarlhorn in terms of multipliers here is just multiplying for less. So we're kind of, you know what, nearly 30,000 health out the other end worse off. What I did have, though, let me see if I can fill up Faction Guardians, because I did have a full Faction Guardian for my man Tolf, but I don't have right now for Gnarlhorn. I don't even know if I've got... No, I don't even have enough to do it, but I can get the health. That's probably the most important thing. The health, I would have liked the defense, probably would have liked the speed as well, but I just don't keep rares anymore. So yeah, that's something which you can do to try and boost it a bit, but ultimately, we're going for the same exact gear. We're still over that 250 speed, which is important. I've got 85k health here, 3.6k defense. We can't crit, so crit and stuff like that doesn't matter. Resistance and accuracy doesn't matter. In terms of his kit, we're just utilizing the A1, okay? And that's all we care about, because any damage is coming from War Master. And that was the same with Tolf as well, by the way. Any damage was coming with War Master. Now, Tolf does have healing from his A1 as well. So Gnarlhorn's just kind of like the absolute budget version of Tolf in this situation. I can't believe I'm saying those words. This ability, I guess increase in defense, is that worth more than putting on a hit? I don't know if it is, because we are relying on Blood Shield to give us healing from emergency heal. So I'm not sure if having the A2 on is better or not, honestly. Getting this increased defense up might even be worth having. But he does have this unkillable as well. Again, I feel like this is a bait, and we're probably better off just A1ing and hitting, and therefore getting our blood shield up. I think that's going to be the better option. In terms of masteries, I've built them with the exact same masteries as I did with Tolf. So no difference at all. We've got War Master for our damage. We've got a little bit of healing from Life Drinker when it needs to come in. We've got Cycle of Revenge to try and get some turn meter back. Yeah, all the same stuff as I had on Tolf. Now, again, on the video yesterday, there was a lot of people saying, why don't you put in more champions to give him a speed boost? Put in more champions to give him more damage. The trouble with this fight is the more people you bring in that die, the quicker the stacks go up, okay? And as soon as the stacks go up, you're basically dead. You're in trouble. You've got to keep the stacks down to under 10, ideally. Obviously, Gnarlhorn has also got problems with affinity, right? So there's a whole bunch of stuff why Gnarlhorn is not as good in this particular thing than... let me just see if I can find a team I can destroy here. I think I actually used pretty much all of these teams. Maybe not this one. Okay. So yeah, Gnarlhorn does have an aura, which actually helps us. So he kind of catches up a bit of the defense that he doesn't have currently, which is good. But I'm thinking we're just going to try turning these off. I'm just wondering if that A2, though, is kind of worth increased defense. Even the small version. Is that better than gaining like a... What's going to be 6% heal? No, maybe not. I think we need the healing. Okay, let's try it anyway. So he's got affinity problems. Does affinity problems actually matter to a Gnarlhorn? Only in terms of how much damage he's going to take. Because you're more likely to be crit if you're going up against the affinity that's kind of strong against you. So blue affinity is going to be a problem for Gnarlhorn. And yeah, you might struggle to get through it. But let's try stage 20, which Tolf did comfortably. Okay? Don't forget, I had 5-star Tolf. It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of close. 5-star Tolf does mean that you get an extra 3% heal every time Blood Shield drops off. But I do think Gnarlhorn's going to be an option, at least if people are not able to climb, he will be an option for people to climb if you don't mind, you know, just kind of like slow boy runs. I did check in with Saf as well to have a sneaky look at game code. I was like, are there any more? Are there any more where there's a list of like anyone else with their A1 where they don't weak hit ever? And the reason, again, comments from yesterday's video, the reason why you need it to be in their skill kit, not being able to weak hit, is because Enfeeble forces you to weak hit. Yeah, so affinity and stuff like that is irrelevant here. It's literally this protected debuff, Enfeeble. That's forcing weak hits from every other champion in the game, apart from Gnarlhorn, or now we found out Tolf. Saying here, so Safa said, there's no one exclusively on an A1 other than Gnarlhorn and Tolf that he can see in terms of game code. This is what you need to keep an eye on. This meter up here. Now, I had a 5-star Tolf yesterday in terms of his blessing, which meant that every time I hit, I got 5 stacks off of this. With Gnarlhorn, I got a 4-star, and that's kind of doing the job. You can see it's going to work. Level 20, we can see it's going to work because we're always comfortable on health, which means that I think he gets all the way to level 20, even on poor affinity matchups, kind of fine. You can see here, I don't even need to finish this. I'll let it run through until the end, but there was no point, even at 4-star, that we are struggling to kill this guy. So, I mean, he's done it easily. Like, no question, done it easily. But he's so much slower than Tolf, actually. Like, just not being able to crit has made a massive difference to the speed of him actually doing this. So, I didn't expect him to be so much slower. I thought he'd be maybe a minute slower, but he's basically double the time to do it of Tolf. But he does do it, and he does it easily, stage 20. So, if you're one of those people that, you know, RSL helpers for, you know, the night and leaves your stuff running, I guess it's possible, but it is probably in the realms of too slow for the average human to bear. I wanted to try 21 because this is the negative affinity, and obviously 25 is as well, but then Tolf couldn't do 25 anyway. But 21, let's just see what having the positive affinity over us does. Like, do we just get hard wrecked? I think we probably will get hard wrecked because of the chance to crit coming in that much more often. Like, against us, it doesn't make any difference to us doing damage. Yeah, look at this already. These crits coming in are meaty and absolutely hard wrecking us actually already. Look at that. Maybe 20 is already his limit. Especially as his stacks are going up so much quicker as well. Didn't even get close. That's not even a close run on 21. Just interested, if you were past 21 somehow, which probably means you couldn't do it if you're using this guy anyway. But did I just cap out our limit straight away is what I'm interested in. Because his stacks obviously go up quicker the faster he is, the more turns he has. Yeah, it looks like I think I just got us straight to the cap without knowing it, because this is hurting a lot as well. And so you can see, you know, those extra stats that we got onto Tolf and the extra blessing level is making quite a big impact. Yeah, so he's getting hard wrecked there. The other thing I just want to check then, so 20 looks like his limit based on the stats I've got, but would we have been able to beat 17, which is the poor affinity matchup as well, is another question. I guess 20, I tried it. The first thing I tried was his strong affinity, which meant that we were just getting way less crits. But this is one, I guess I'll let this one play through, because again, like the counter feels like it's going up pretty damn quick. As soon as it goes over 10, we're in trouble. Maybe we just about hang on. Over 10 is a problem. Okay, so it's not looking good. I tried 13 as well. 13, we got one shot. As soon as he got to 40 stacks, we got one shot. 17, we couldn't do. Obviously, 21, you saw. So the problem here is, although he could beat stage 20 with these stats, you would still have to get there, and getting past the bad affinity matchup is a problem. You'd have to build out a full team anyway, or a different team to make that happen. And yeah, that's going to be an issue. So I think this guy is not really viable. I think he's not really viable for solo strats, unless you're talking about, you know, dropping right back down, maybe taking him up to stage. I mean, 12's a poor one to go at anyway because of energy efficiency. So you might go with like stage 11 and get some materials there. And really, you want to be doing minimum stage 17 if you want to be getting like full ascensions done. You know, if you're earlier game, you just want to ascend some stuff, I'd suggest this probably isn't a dungeon you should be in anyway, but you might get yourself up to stage 11 and farm here, and that's comfortable. The only sort of negative affinity matchup you've got is stage 9. That would be a problem. And the only issue we get, honestly, is when his stacks go up to like level 40. But yeah, it's definitely not Tolf Mark II, which I thought at the start of the video, I was like, maybe it's going to be. My question is, why do we sometimes get rid of 4 and why do we sometimes get rid of 2? I should know this mechanics better than I do. I don't know this mechanics well enough. Why sometimes it's 2? Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, so keeping the stacks low is important, obviously. Basically keeping it at 0, which we can do here because he's so much slower. But when I tried it on 13, he's stacked right up to 40 stacks, and then he one-shots us. So stage 9 is fine, which means that you could use him if you wanted to use a solo champion. Bear in mind, I've got him well geared. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. He's well geared right now. But, you know, if you wanted to run him at stage 11, I think you could. But he's definitely not as good as Tolf. Like, nowhere near. Affinity's a problem. Like, big time. Affinity's the biggest problem, actually. And, yeah, I don't know. Don't know, guys. He's an option, but he's not a good option, is what I would say. He would work just better in the teams where you use him for the A1, but you bring in other damage dealers around him. Nub's doing the team, but there's tons of examples where Gnarlhorn is basically the target for the Enfeeble tank, and then other champions are in there doing the damage. But Nubs did a good video here where it's like a free-to-play style team against stage 25 using Gnarlhorn. But again, he does have him a 6-star here, but I don't know if that matters too much. But yeah, not what I was hoping for, but I still think good to share these type of tests with you because firstly, it cost me a ton of silver and energy. And secondly, a load of people were asking. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Gnarlhorn, kind of like probably not quite good enough, but can do a job if you just need to get up some levels. If somehow you're on level 20, you could solo it in the right gear. Anyway, there you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.